We are back, everybody, bringing you more and more stories, hanging out with Comcast. Couldn't have a better partner to tell our 50 stories of tech in summer. And today's guest is someone who I've known for a little while. He's part of Comcast. We have Toni Murphy, the VP of Sales and Marketing for the Keystone Region. Toni, it's always a pleasure to hang out with you because you bring this energy like all the time. It like double charges me up. So I'm just saying, I'm going to warn everybody right now that I just might go nuts because a little bit of Toni time is worth it. It's like 5 cups of coffee.
I don't know if my kids would agree with you, but I'll take it.
Well, if they need to hear otherwise, I'll stop over your place and I'll let them know. Absolutely. Toni, you do some great work around the Pittsburgh area, and I'm just so excited to learn more about what Comcast has done during this crazy pandemic. I think some of the best work just goes unsung because, like, honestly, so many of us just take for granted that when we're all jumping on Zoom calls now every day that they work. You know, it's like it does not happen by accident, like whatsoever. And it's because crazy smart people keeping the networks up and running. It's as simple as
that. Right. That's right. I always say you don't know what you have until you really, really have to use it.
Yes.
Have until it's gone. You don't know what you have until you really, really need it. And I could not be more proud of our company than I am right now for that reason.
I believe it, because I've firsthand seen the work that you guys have been doing, and it just blows my freaking mind. So tell us, let's just start off. How's Comcast been doing over the past like 3 months?
Well, we've been doing great. You know, I'm so honored to be in this capacity. You know, I've always loved my work, but I haven't loved it any more than I do right now. Starting in March when this pandemic started, you can imagine, you know, folks were mobilizing to work from home, companies closing down their offices. And within a second, our business, our demand for our products shot up by over 30%, like literally overnight.
Really? Wow.
I mean, oh yeah. I mean, folks, I mean, and it's funny too, because you would think everybody already has at home, but some folks use their cell phones to manage what they need from a data perspective. But when you're going to working from home and and all that jazz, you couldn't rely on your cell phone. So, so what we found is folks were flooding our lines. We had in some cases, you know, 30, 40-minute wait times on. Oh my
goodness! You got to manage this new capacity by keeping you folks happy and getting their services spun up. Like
that's right.
And you're all working from home at the same time.
All work, and I'll tell you, I mean, we've always known that our network was reliable, but I'll tell you, the tech ops teams and our engineering teams have worked extraordinarily hard to make sure the network is basically foolproof. You can imagine, you think about it, in an average home, folks have somewhere in the neighborhood of 5 or 6 devices that are connected to the internet. And you multiply that across millions and millions of customers.
Oh my God, I know.
You know, that puts a lot of stress on the system, but our company's done a great job of making sure we have the right capacity levels, you know, making sure we can get to every customer at every part of our footprint. So I'm really proud of that. And I can tell you, every time I go to a grocery store and they see me with a Comcast shirt on, they're like, thank God for Comcast. I mean,
I believe it. I believe it. It is. And what I often say is, like, if this pandemic would have happened like 5, 10 years ago, it would have been a whole other story because once again, we take for granted that we're able to operate pretty much seamlessly despite all of this because of the awesome network that is out there right now.
Oh, totally. I mean, and you know, I look at our products a lot of different ways.
Okay.
So we often talk about the internet, but I'll also tell you that for folks who are homeschooling or folks who had to keep kids entertained, you know, X1 platform has been their go-to. Right now, my kids love going onto the X1 platform and saying, you know, Xfinity Summer Camp on the voice remote, and they have cool activities for kids, and they, you know, obviously watching all the movies. And you know, something people take for granted. We used to love, you know, summertime, people are known to go to the movies, right? During the summers, that's like
that's not happening.
And it's not happening. But guess what? Now you have new releases on X1. So we watched Trolls right from the comfort of our own home. My kids even made like tickets, like we were going to the movie. Oh,
that's so cool.
We made popcorn and all that jazz. Made like we're really going to the movie theater.
That's so cool.
Goes to show that we've got. I've been so amazed at how we were able to pivot our business in a very thoughtful way and meet customers where they were.
That's what it's all about. And as part of that, I remember you guys rolled out some really crazy cool offers because you wanted to make sure that everybody could have access to this.
Yeah. Well, so we have a product, what we call Internet Essentials. I mean, one of the things I'm always very passionate about, as a woman of color, as a woman of, that I grew up lower to middle class family. And so I know what it takes to make ends meet. And so I'm grateful for Internet Essentials, because when folks are transitioning to working from home, they need to have the internet, but we can't make it so that, cost is the reason why you don't give your children access to the internet to be able to do their homework.
Exactly.
So we essentially, during this pandemic, we have been extending our Internet Essentials platform and giving out 2 months free, so you can just don't even worry about the cost, just get yourself set up.
Right.
And trusting that folks will love the product enough to, to keep it once they get through the 3 months. And it's showing that to be the case. Folks are so grateful to that, and it, to me, it's the great equalizer. And I just feel like I love that we're doing our part to manage the pandemic.
Oh, absolutely. And even like the work you guys have done with places like Neighborhood Allies and so forth, to make sure that there's access to the Internet Essentials. Like, these are all these things where it's just like, this is happening. But like I said, people aren't always hearing about it. That's why I want to shout it out today a little bit.
Yeah. We give out a lot of laptops. We give out a lot of free internet. We don't typically require a lot of things. But I'm really grateful, when we found out that there were students who during this pandemic, did not have access to the internet and didn't have a home computer, I was grateful that we partnered with them to make that happen. And so again, every day we're trying to make sure that folks, not only adults who have to work from home, but students, especially as we're gearing up for the fall. I mean, folks are probably likely going to be working to some degree from home, and probably homeschooling on some level.
I think we just have to say that's going to happen at this point and prepare for it, because all it's going to take is one thing, and then it's like we're all back, and let's just get back to what we're doing back in March for a little bit.
That's right. But the other thing I would say about saving customers money is, one of the things we've seen over the pandemic, our Xfinity Mobile product has grown like gangbusters, right? Because customers look at that and say, I'm spending a ton of money on my cell phone. Well, now you have, basically a fantastic new phone, the advantage of a great LTE network, and the advantage of a great Wi-Fi hotspots all over the country. They're saving themselves a lot of money from a data consumption perspective. So, it's just been a win-win-win.
One of the trends I think you guys have been experiencing, and maybe give me more details on this, has been around the fact that people just want to get internet now. They don't necessarily want to bundle it with the other part.
Yeah.
Can you tell me more about that?
Yeah. So look, so certainly through this pandemic, when this started, folks were literally flooding our phones saying, hey, I just need internet. And they've been getting a range of speeds, gig speeds, 500 megs, and even beyond that. But, I know what we've been watching as a trend is that, folks aren't necessarily, committed to tethering themselves to one set of devices, but we do have a product that we call Flex. And Flex is basically our streaming platform. So when a customer they just call us and say, all I want is internet, we're throwing Flex in, because we know ultimately, who isn't watching television? Everybody's watching television. Right. It's the difference is what platform are they using to watch it? They're probably using Hulu or Apple TV or whatever the case may be. So Flex basically gives customers the ability to get access to lots and lots of content. You get Peacock for free, which is our new streaming service. So on Peacock, you get over 10,000 brand new pieces of shows and content that you've seen. Some of it is content we've known before, like Seinfeld. And
that alone, I would get it, just because I can have access to all the Seinfeld episodes.
Oh my God, who would love that? Let's not care, or even like Saturday Night Live. I still watch the reruns from like when Eddie Murphy was there, right? So, so we started Flex as an aberration to be. We know that folks like to stream, like to have the ability to get video their way, and so we have over 1 million folks who've taken our Flex Flex services.
So just 1 million,
Jeez. Yeah, in less than a year.
See?
In less than a year.
Because I think most people don't know that. They think that, no, I have to get the whole thing together, but they don't. They can just get the Flex, and there you go.
Absolutely. And if they come to one of my fabulous retail stores, I would love for them to come.
We like your retail stores. We were hanging out there last year doing our tech vibes.
That's right. That's right. Over in East Liberty. That's right.
Good times. I remember that. That was
yeah. Yeah.
So I also know that Comcast has done a lot for its own employees during this as well too.
Yeah.
Because it's like your frontline workers here. I mean, because like I said, this is like electricity at the end of the day. This is like running water. Like with this stuff doesn't work. The world is not happy.
Yeah.
Obviously, your workers have been going like crazy.
Yeah.
Running, so I'm sure Comcast has done tons to thank them and do stuff. What's been going on there?
Yeah. So look, this is near and dear to my heart. So when this pandemic started, we run a very, very large organization. I think you know about our big office over in the Robinson area in North Fayette.
Yep.
We have a big office over in the West End near downtown. And literally overnight, we mobilized all those employees to work from home. We found devices and setups and extra, desktop screens, and we literally mobilized everyone to work from home in less than 7 days.
Yep.
And when an operation of this size, it took a lot of coordination. So hats off to our IT group, our facilities group. They did an amazing job. And even through that, we've been leveraging Microsoft Teams to have great conversations internally. Ironically, I'm gonna tell you this: we do the Net Promoter system. We practice that here at Comcast, and we have an employee survey every other month where we ask them, "How do you think we're doing?"
Okay.
We had our best NPS scores ever.
Are you serious?
It's just amazing because our teams really felt like we cared about them. We showed that we understood how important it was for them to be mobilized and to help our customers, but we wanted to make sure we were taking their health very, very seriously. I will also tell you that, on the Comcast business side, we've actually put together a bunch of test sites for COVID, and they obviously needed internet service. So partnering with, West Virginia University Medical System to get test sites launched for them. That was, our team loved the fact that they were helping with the pandemic in their own special way.
Because everyone's feeling like, they're contributing through their job and the work that they're doing. They're actually helping other people through this whole thing.
Absolutely. And then certainly I know a lot of people have been coming to our stores even during this pandemic. We're obviously doing all the right things in terms of making sure we have the right safety protocols and plexiglass and the 6 feet of distance between our customers. And our employees have really appreciated us taking their health seriously and the health of our customers. So even if folks want to come down to our stores, they can. It's very, very safe. We're keeping everyone safe, and we can still give you the great customer experience that everyone deserves.
Very good stuff. So glad to talk to you today, Toni. And I want to switch gears just a little bit because this is something else that's near and dear to our heart, the Tech Council, my heart. I know your heart as well, too. It's the Athena Awards are coming up.
Yes.
Remember, the Pittsburgh Tech Council is now the convener of the Athena Awards, and it recognizes just some of Pittsburgh's most awesome women because we got some of the smartest women in the world, and we like to recognize them. Tell us a little bit about the Athena Awards, why they're so important to you, because I know you've had a little association with them in the past, as being honored by them in the past, and you've also been a huge help to us in rallying support during this difficult time to get people to nominate. Because right now people are like, what, you're still having the awards? Like, yes, they're gonna be virtual and they're gonna kick butt.
Yeah. Well, first of all, thank you so much to the Tech Council for taking up this banner of owning this prestigious award going forward. I think it's a perfect marriage. You've got a phenomenal woman at the helm of the Tech Council, and I know she's a great advocate of women. For those who aren't familiar, the Athena Award is really about celebrating women who are uplifting and empowering communities of other women through mentorship, community engagement. I was very honored to be the 2018 Young Athena Award winner. I had an opportunity to bring my mother and so she could see all the work I did.
Sweet. That's awesome.
Yeah, it was great. So look, I think there's a lot of great women in the city, especially right now, who are doing great work, whether it be nurses, executives, you name it. There are women who are helping us prosper in a beautiful way in the city of Pittsburgh, and we should honor them and say thank you for what they've done. Yep. So I am going to call for more nominations. And if you want to attend the event, I'm sure we're going to have a great, probably virtual, maybe, I don't know, but
virtual. It's going to be awesome because we learned. We did our CIO of the Year awards last week, and they came out awesome. Like, we have this thing figured out, and we're going to make Athena even better. Why? Because you're helping us, Toni. That's
that's right. So I'm going to do my part, make sure folks show up, and I would just say anybody watching this or listening to this, make sure you nominate some folks, and please make sure you attend.
Absolutely. See, I told everybody this is like having 5 cups of coffee. 1, 2. Now I'm like so charged up. I'm going to go do something. But now I got to do this thing. And that's terrible. I just love hanging out with you, Toni. I love getting your insight. And more importantly, I love hearing these awesome stories coming from Comcast right now. Because it goes to show you, man, companies are stepping up in some big, big ways. And I like about that.
Oh yeah, that's right. That's right. We can do anything. This pandemic has shown that we all can do anything. Anything is possible.
I would agree. Absolutely. Toni, you're making Pittsburgh proud. Love having you on the show. And you guys, of course, making this happen as I point to the old Comcast logo behind you right here.
Yes.
You're telling all these freaking awesome stories. So we'll leave it at that.
Thank you. Awesome. Thanks, Jonathan.
Toni.